Okay, so I'm training live again. It has been some time since I was last live. About a week and a half, 2 weeks. I think the last time I was live was on the 19th or the 18th. I can't remember. But it's been a rough 2 weeks. I've lost quite a bit. I'm down to about $700. I was up to around 1,024, but now I've boomed and busted. So haven't been trading very consistently. Life has been a little bit difficult of late, so my mindset hasn't really been there. But I'm back today. Going to give it another go. Well, when I say give it another go, it's not like I quit. I'm just business as usual, I guess. So I have got the DAX open because I did a whole lot of research in the DAX on a little bit of a setup at around 5:30 GMT plus 4. So kind of looking at the 15-minute bar that coincides with the open of the US. So I'm going to be trading that, and I'm also obviously going to be trading the normal setups, school run, first bar, positive or negative. So the Dow is in a little bit of a range here on the 5-minute. See what we're looking like on the daily. We've got all-time highs here at the moment. Yesterday, all-time highs. Pulled back a little bit today, so I'll be interested to see how price reacts. Nasdaq a month or two ago hit its all-time highs, and we've come off of that, and now we're slowly but surely getting back up. We kind of hit this 19,900 level here. So we had a negative day yesterday, positive day on Friday. So again, I'll be interested to see how we react after having just broken the low of the previous day. But markets, I believe, are open. We have got news tonight. Well, when I say news, we've got Chairman of the Fed is going to be speaking. So it's going to be interesting. The US session hasn't been very good to me lately, but just got to stick with the process. So much to my astonishment, while I was away, I got 2 or 3 new subscribers. Can't actually believe that people are watching me trade. But that's cool. Appreciate it. Please don't follow my trading though. So quite a big negative opening here in the Dow. So I'll be watching this 15-minute bar quite closely in the DAX. I'll be looking to bracket this bar at its completion. So quite a nice downtrend today. Channel, whatever you'd like to call it. So, yeah, so there's basically the account balance. Now we're back down to 700, unfortunately. I'm just going to look at the differential chart. Quite an interesting chart. So it's basically the differential between the Dow and the NASDAQ. Hmm. Right, so first bar is positive in the NASDAQ. If we get down below the open, I will look to sell. NASDAQ rallying up to these previous highs here. See if we get some sellers above there. $31. I'll be taking this trade at a reduced position size because it is still in the early stages of me actually trading it. So it's more of a building of statistics. I went over 101 trading days looking at at this specific bar at this time, and what the results of buying, selling below the close and buying the low and buying above the high would generate. And I think out of 101 trades, it was 58 winners, 11 break-evens, 4 no trades, because we are getting quite close to the market close hours here, and then obviously overnight trading. And I think like 26 losses or something like that. And the winners would generate a max of about 4,000 points, and your losses would generate around 1,100 points. So quite specific this, but you know, also at the same time, if this signal candle is a bit too big, or the range is a bit too large, I'll tend not to take it, but we'll see. I'm probably going to take it just to keep up the process and get some statistical numbers on the actual setup. So we still got 6 minutes left before that. And so Nasdaq has just broken these previous highs. Now it's pulling back slightly. May have been a few sellers or profit takers there. And now we just be patient. Interested to see if buyers come in here. Right, so this setup, I use quite a large offset. I use about 4 points on either side. So the high was 362. I'll be looking at a buy order at about 66.5, and the low was 320, so I'll be looking at a sell order at about 316.5. So I'll start setting up those orders with about 20 seconds left or so of this candle. Interested in the NASDAQ, how our price is going to react if we do break below this previous candle here. That might be a buy signal. Buy signal, where is the question? 20,007 was the low, so I'd maybe say 20,000. We'll see. The only worry that I do have with this setup now in the DAX, obviously any strategy you got to take context into consideration, is this support area here, about 19,315. So if we do get a sell signal, we're right on that support level. Which coincides with this resistance and that resistance. Okay, so let me just get my orders here. Oh, for heaven's sakes, these charts are sometimes really bad. Right, so 6.6, 6.5. Pop a bar order in there, and this one is 16.5. I'll go 16 too. Hopefully we haven't hit a range here, but let's see. Again, this is forward testing. The research took me some time. I had to obviously go through 101 charts, look at this candle specifically on those charts, then see whether or not it was a winner or a loser trade depending on which direction the market took you in, mark all of the charts, put all the rules down on well, not on paper, but Microsoft Word, and then, you know, add in 101 charts on that document with writings on each setup, 101 setups, what was going on here, if this was a winner or loser, how many points you would have made or lost. So yeah, now it's time to actually forward test the strategy. So I'm doing it, but still mindful of context. So we didn't quite get back below the low of the previous candle before we continued upwards, unfortunately. I may want to bar this, however. Let me see. Coming up against a bit of resistance. I might have two trades here. Getting pretty close to being filled in our DAX. Let's see what happens at the top of this range. That's why I've got this large offset. Actually be even a little bit bigger than that. I say at least 4 points in my my rules. I might just let's see. Okay, here's aggressive school run. Just placing the orders. Right, so nearly filled in our DAX position. Let's see what it does at the top of this range. I think the high we got to there was 62. So originally I had it at 66.5. I've just upped it half a point to 67, just in case we get to the top of this range and we reverse back down. I look as though I'm going to get filled in the Dow, maybe, maybe not. I'm going to set up the aggressive school run on the NASDAQ side as well, short. Yeah, so that's why I've got that offset. You've got to be just a little bit careful. So when you have a little bit of a range starting to form here, I don't want to be triggered and then taken the other way. So just give it a little bit of space. The market really needs to prove that it's going in the direction before I get in out of this range. It's just on the short side, it's this support here that I'm a little bit concerned about. Dow got close, but we didn't quite get filled. Looks like we may do soon. As well as the NASDAQ. NASDAQ came very close. So we'll be then taken long on both. So I'm just keeping an eye on the price up here. If it gets around 67, I know I've been filled there. 52 here and 11 here. Looks like we're going to get filled. Are we going to get filled? Not quite. Who's going to be first? Not a bad bit of not a bad range here in the NASDAQ. I wonder. No, I'll leave it at half a position. I was going to say, I wonder if I shouldn't. Excuse me. So, concerns me a little bit. Okay, so Dow we've been taken long. Looks like we might be short the NASDAQ. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my auto break even to 40. And short the NASDAQ. So that's the range I was a little bit worried about on both. Dow is hurdling towards my stop loss. Alright, so Dow not looking too great. That's fun. I've got to flip the switch in position. NASDAQ, who knows, wants to go. Looks like it is. But not looking too great in the Dow. We're about 20 points underwater. I'll start just basically just reducing my risk. Okay, so NASDAQ is looking okay. Dow is back into profit. Was almost back into profit. We haven't been filled yet on our DAX position. There we go. Come on, Dow. Come on, NASDAQ. Don't like to be long one and short the other. Gonna close them. I want to wait for school run. Not really keen on being on the opposite ends there. I'm gonna wait for school run. Yeah, I don't like being short one and long the other. That seems weird. They're supposed to be, well, they should be slightly correlated. But yeah, that's basically where we are. So EU session this morning, I lost 15 points, then I made back 8 points. And another, oh, here we go, hang on. So just watching. Looks like the Dow's already on its way. See if it'll come back. Dow's going nicely now. Sherbet. Okay, well, missed a good trade in the Dow. Let's see what the NASDAQ. Let's go into the 15 minutes. Oh, very good trade in the Dow. Just contemplating a short here. DAX is still in a range. I don't know if I like trading the strategy when we've got a range like this. Dow's gone. Damn it. Okay. Nasdaq is starting to break down a little bit. Yeah, so I don't like this range at all. I'm going to delete these orders and just keep an eye. That's really bad luck there. Oh well. It happens. Just want to make this green and this red. So where are we on there? We're like 12 points on the 22 points on the day, but most of those were half position size, so nothing at all impressive. But we want to focus on the process, not on the outcome. So So a real nasty range here in the DEX. We've got resistance over here, we've got support over here, and now we're just messing around in the middle. Not really what I want to see according to my strategy rules. Okay, so NASDAQ coming back down to open low. I don't know where it goes. Alright, I think we've missed out here big time. That's upsetting. So, long one, short the other. It's so counterintuitive to me. Still got the brunch break, but that's a long time from now. Yeah, so DAX is pretty range bound. And while there's a line down here. Yeah, no. Right, so if I was in that NASDAQ trade short, I would have been taken out for break even. That's for absolutely sure. There's no ways I would have caught that low. And it's just about 30 points in profit it would have been. So yeah, I would have been taken out for break even there. I think stop would have moved at about 20 points. Hmm. So, and I'm quiet. I'm just trying to concentrate here. DEX is doing absolutely nothing. Very much in a range. NASDAQ testing the bottom support of this range here. Broke through it once before but came straight back up into it and retested the highs of that range. And now we're back down. So if you're a consolidation trader, you would have looked at a long position there, just below. So when the DAX gets to either one of these levels, I'm watching it over here. I'll turn back to the chart and have a look. I'm looking at the Dow. This is betting on higher prices. see if we get filled here. Looks like we might. So again, betting on higher prices. A retest of about 260. I think it's pretty range bound. Not much going on here, is there? Now it goes. I was just a little bit apprehensive about this range that it was starting to print. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 brunch break in about 45 minutes time. I don't know if I'm going to sit on stream for that long. So I pretty much missed all of my setups today besides aggressive school run, which I closed both early due to fear of being short one and long the other. Both of which would have made money if I had kept them. That'll be the NASDAQ there. I had a position at 17.1. I closed it for 10 points. And it continued for another 80. No. 100 points. 100 points. And the Dow I had an order at 111.6, and I closed it at 21 for just over 9 points, and it continued for 120 points. So lesson learned there, they're not always correlated. Dow is just stuck in a range. Nasdaq finally found some buyers at these lows. And if I'd taken this trade at 220, I'd be 7 points in profit right now. So, not my best session. I'd be nearly 20 points in profit now. But look, even though the dollar value isn't very impressive, 22 points for the day is okay. If it was a larger trading size, obviously, it would seem a bit more impressive, but it's all you can do with the account that you have. Yeah, so that would have been a good trade. 40 points. Retesting this area that I thought it was looking to. I don't want to say things like that because what do I know, but that's the area I would have bet on it retesting. So I just have these lines in green and red just to kind of indicate where I would be long and short on this specific setup. I've decided I'm not trading it this time because of this range. But if we looked at the same thing yesterday, there's 530, we would have been taken long. We would have seen about 40 points there. The day before, I think we were also quite day before I think we would have just not, what was the high, 54, 57, so we would have just not been filled long there if we had the right size offset. That's why I say at least 4 points. And then short, we could have seen about 50 points. 66, so we pretty much filled now. Would have been filled long on the Dow. Let's see what type of movement we get off of that. So I'm just doing forward testing at the moment. I've told myself on this specific one I'm not going to take it because of this range, but just out of interest I want to see what type of performance I would have gotten. And so Nasdaq starting to recover a little bit, going back up to the top of the range. Let's stick the school run in. Again, I realize it's not the most entertaining, but it's not supposed to be entertainment. This is just for my my own post-session study. So we'd be about 4 points in profit now on the DAX. Again, just looking at prices up here. Trying to break through this resistance. Let's see if the buyers step in. I'd look at a retest of these highs over here at about 400. Just under 400. I think that's where I would have considered looking at taking some profit. We've got support there, resistance there. Yeah. If it got up there. However, we would be 4 points underwater now. So Dow is now starting to move. Would have been about 50 points in profit if we had left that bar order there, but that's hindsight. It is what it is. It seems as if today the DAX may be following more the NASDAQ, but that's just an assumption. So still about 42 minutes, 43 minutes to go before the brunch break sets up. Yeah, so we'd be underwater now on our DAX position by about 10 points. That's why I worry about these ranges. You don't necessarily want to trade it if it's in a range like that. Here we saw a little bit more of a direction, even though that the signal gave us a counter trend signal. Took us short there. There's another messy range. Been taken long, stopped out. So that's why I say if it's ranging like that, I don't like to take the trade. Here we were taken again, overlap bars. If we were taken long here, I don't think we would have seen very much profit. I think we're about 10 points or so. Here would have been a bit better. Only we would have missed this nice big move. We would have only caught this little end here, which was about 30 points or so, 37 points. This one we would have had to have been quick, but we would have been taken short for about 44 points before the market reversed quite drastically. Here we would have seen about 28 points. That's probably a break-even trade. And here I think we would have, what's the high there? 8.5, 8.8. So we would have just saved ourselves with a 4-point offset there from being taken long. And I lied to you, it wasn't that, it was this one here. So we would be in pain for a little bit of time for about 31 points, but then if we had held it, we would have seen about 120 points. So that's the general idea. But now we would be about 10 points down. And we got the Dow rallying now quite nicely. breaking above the opening high. Just one of those days, unfortunately. But I think I'm going to end it there. I will trade brunch break a little bit later on. But yeah, for the day, 22 points. It's okay. If it was a bigger position size, then, you know, would have been a lot more impressive. But hey, here's what it is, like I said. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream there. It's dinner time where I am. And yeah, so this range is definitely in play. So part of the rules, don't trade it if you've got overlapping bars previous. But anyway, yeah, so I'll have a look at what the brunch break is doing. I probably won't trade it live, but I'll show it up tomorrow. I might not be around for the European session. I've got some things to do throughout the day. An appointment at about 10:30 in the morning, which is half an hour before the EU session opens for me, so I might miss that. So yeah, that's the standing currently. I'll update if I do manage to make the European session tomorrow, or I'll update on the US session in the afternoon, because I will be trading that live, as to what the brunch break, how it turns out on the Dow. But I don't really want to sit around here for another half an hour just staring at nothing going on. Nasdaq is just, yeah, pretty much caught in this. Dow is now rallying nicely. So yeah, I may just kick myself a little bit off stream, having not taken that long position at 220, and also for closing out the aggressive so early. But I mean, that I felt justified at the time to not be long one and short the other. So that's on me. But yeah, is what it is. Alrighty. Okay, so 22 points for the day. $12. Whoop-de-doo. Alright,